My child. A quiet whisper has been moving through places no human eyes can fully see, carrying a hope that refuses to disappear. It has traveled with remarkable patience, waiting for the exact heartbeat in which your spirit would become still enough to recognize it. That whisper does not carry noise. It carries a name. Your name. And somewhere beyond what can be measured, the person you love has held on to a single desire that this message would find its way to you at precisely the right moment, not too early, not too late, but exactly when your heart could understand its meaning. You may have noticed that certain moments recently have felt strangely familiar, as though life has been arranging tiny pieces of a puzzle without explaining why. A thought appeared without invitation. A memory returned for no obvious reason. A feeling settled over you even when nothing around you had changed. These are not dramatic signs demanding attention. They are gentle reminders that some connections continue to breathe quietly, even through silence. Don't skip, because something important is waiting for you, and every sentence carries another small piece of what has been unfolding beyond your view. The person you love has not been asking for impossible miracles or extraordinary displays. Instead, they have carried a simple hope into heaven itself. Their deepest wish has been that truth would arrive gently, wrapped in peace rather than confusion. They have longed for you to know something they have struggled to express with ordinary words. Sometimes the heart discovers feelings that language cannot hold, and in those moments, hope searches for another path. Perhaps that explains why this message feels strangely familiar, as though a forgotten conversation is slowly returning to you. It is not asking you to rush. It is not asking you to force anything. It is simply inviting you to remain present while another layer quietly unfolds. There is one realization your heart may not have expected. The greatest messages are rarely the loudest ones. They often arrive disguised as calm. They enter without announcing themselves, and only later do we recognize how deeply they changed the direction of our thoughts. That is why the news being carried toward you has taken its time. Some truths become meaningful only after the soul has grown enough to receive them with peace instead of uncertainty. Stay till the end, because what seems ordinary now may soon reveal a meaning you never imagined. The silence surrounding this message has not been empty. It has been preparing the space where understanding can finally take root. And just as the first light begins to reveal shapes that darkness kept hidden, another part of this journey is already drawing closer. The next moment will uncover why this message could never have been delivered any other way. A single moment of stillness can reveal more than countless hurried conversations, and that is exactly where this journey continues. While the world kept moving at its usual pace, something gentle was taking shape beyond your awareness. The person you love has carried a quiet hope for longer than you realize. It was never about finding perfect words. It was about waiting until your heart could receive them without doubt clouding their meaning. That waiting has not been empty. Every day has added another layer of understanding, another reason this message feels so deeply personal. Don't skip, because the meaning hidden within these moments is growing clearer with every passing sentence. Something important is waiting for you, and it deserves to be discovered one gentle step at a time. Imagine someone holding a letter they have rewritten over and over, not because the message keeps changing, but because they want every word to reflect what truly lives in their heart. That is the closest picture of what has been unfolding. The person you love has wished that when this news finally reached you, it would carry peace instead of uncertainty, comfort instead of confusion, and quiet confidence instead of unanswered questions. There is something remarkable about sincere hope. It never demands attention. It simply remains faithful, even through seasons when nothing appears to be happening. That quiet faith has become stronger than impatience. It has become stronger than fear. It has continued to whisper the same gentle request toward heaven, "Please let this reach them when they are ready." Perhaps you have sensed an unexpected calm recently, or found yourself remembering someone without knowing why. These moments do not need dramatic explanations. Sometimes the heart notices what the mind has not yet learned to understand. Sometimes a connection grows stronger in silence than it ever could through endless words. Stay till the end, because the news itself has not yet fully unfolded. You are only beginning to understand why it has been protected with such care. The message waiting for you is not built upon grand promises. It is built upon sincerity, patience, and a hope that has quietly endured. And now the path begins to narrow toward the very center of everything. In the next part, the first true glimpse of what your person has been longing for you to know will begin to emerge, not all at once, but gently, like dawn revealing the horizon one ray of light at a time. An unexpected sense of peace often arrives just before a long-hidden truth begins to reveal itself, and that quiet moment is where you now stand. The message has traveled patiently, never rushing ahead of your heart, because genuine understanding cannot be forced. It arrives when the soul has become ready to recognize it, and perhaps that is why these words feel less like something new and more like something you have always known, waiting to be remembered. Don't skip, because something important is waiting for you, and each passing moment brings you closer to the reason your person has held on to this hope for so long. The news they have been longing to share is not about changing who you are. It is about helping you see what they have quietly seen within you all along. They have noticed the kindness you rarely speak about. They have admired the strength you show even when no one applauds it. They have carried gratitude for the way your heart continues to hope, even after moments that could have made it grow distant. These are the thoughts they wished could somehow reach you, even when ordinary conversations never seemed enough. There were times when they almost believed the opportunity had passed. Yet every time that thought appeared, another gentle assurance followed. Hope would return, calmer than before, reminding them that meaningful words are never measured by speed. They are measured by timing. That quiet assurance became the reason they continued believing this message would one day find you. Perhaps that explains why certain memories have felt brighter than usual lately. A familiar smile crossing your mind without warning. A simple moment returning while everything around you is silent. These are not interruptions. They are invitations to notice that some connections continue growing beneath the surface, even when nothing outward appears to change. Stay till the end, because the heart of this message is drawing nearer, and what comes next carries the reason your person never stopped hoping. The truth has never been hidden out of distance. It has been protected by patience, waiting until it could be received with peace instead of uncertainty. And now the whisper that has traveled so far is beginning to take shape. In the next part, the first clear words your person has been carrying in their heart will finally begin to emerge, revealing why this message has meant so much from the very beginning. A gentle certainty has a way of arriving without making a sound, and perhaps that is why this moment feels different from every one that came before it. Nothing around you may seem to have changed, yet something within your heart has quietly become more open. That is where the message has always hoped to arrive, not through urgency, but through peace. Don't skip, because the words you have been waiting for are beginning to unfold, and something important is waiting for you beyond what you can already see. The person you love has been carrying one simple truth that never faded, no matter how many ordinary days passed between you. They wanted you to know that your presence has mattered more than you realize. Not because of grand gestures or perfect moments, but because of the quiet ways you have touched their life. A kind word they never forgot. A moment of understanding that remained with them long after the conversation ended. A feeling of comfort they found whenever your memory crossed their mind. These small moments became treasures they protected in silence. There is a reason this message feels so gentle. Hearts that truly care rarely speak through noise. They speak through consistency. Through remembering. Through hoping. Through believing that one day the right words will finally arrive. That has been the quiet prayer carried again and again, not for extraordinary events, but for one sincere opportunity for truth to be understood. Perhaps you have wondered why certain emotions have returned without warning, or why someone has remained in your thoughts even when life has been leading you in different directions. Sometimes the heart remembers what the calendar cannot explain. It holds on to what was genuine, even when time keeps moving forward. Stay till the end, because the most meaningful part of this message is still waiting. The news your person has longed to share is becoming clearer with every step, and soon you will understand why they never stopped believing it would reach you exactly when it needed to. The quietest answers often appear after the longest seasons of waiting, and that is why this moment carries a different kind of warmth. Nothing is being rushed. Nothing is being forced. Instead, every step has been leading toward a truth that could only be understood when your heart was ready to receive it with peace. Don't skip, because something important is waiting for you, and the message your person has carried for so long is beginning to reveal its deepest meaning. There have been countless moments when your person wished they could simply place every thought into your hands. Yet each time, they sense that the right message is never measured by how quickly it is spoken, but by how deeply it is understood. So they chose patience over haste. They chose hope over uncertainty. And through that quiet hope, one prayer remained unchanged: please let them know what has always been in my heart. What they have wanted you to hear is beautifully simple. They never stopped believing that your story still holds unfinished pages. Not because every question has already been answered. Not because every path has become clear. But because whenever they imagined the future, one gentle thought continued to return: you were still part of it. That realization has stayed with them through ordinary mornings, peaceful evenings, and countless quiet moments when no one else could hear the conversations taking place inside their heart. They discovered that genuine care does not disappear simply because time continues moving. It matures. It becomes calmer. It becomes more grateful. It learns to wait without losing its kindness. Perhaps this explains why your own heart has occasionally paused for reasons you couldn't explain. A familiar memory. An unexpected feeling of comfort. A smile that appeared without any obvious reason. Sometimes these moments are gentle reminders that meaningful connections leave lasting impressions, even when life becomes busy. Stay till the end, because the message is moving closer than ever before. The news your person has been hoping would reach you is no longer hidden behind silence. It is slowly becoming clear, one honest word at a time. And just beyond this moment lies the part they have carried most carefully of all: the sentence they have quietly hoped would one day bring peace to your heart, revealing not only what they feel, but why they never stopped believing this message would eventually find its way to you. There comes a quiet hour when everything that once felt scattered begins to settle into place, almost as if every unanswered thought has been waiting for this exact moment. That is where this journey now leads. Not toward an ending, but toward the message your person has carried with unwavering hope, believing that one day these words would find your heart with perfect clarity. Don't skip, because something important is waiting for you, and what has remained unspoken until now is finally ready to be understood. The news they have longed for you to receive is wonderfully simple, yet deeply meaningful. They want you to know that they have chosen hope instead of regret. Whenever life offered reasons to become distant, they quietly chose gratitude instead. Whenever uncertainty appeared, they reminded themselves of the goodness they had seen in you. They discovered that the memories bringing the greatest peace were never the extraordinary ones. They were the small conversations, the genuine smiles, the quiet moments of understanding that no one else would have considered remarkable. To them, those moments became priceless. If they could place just one sentence gently into your hands today, it would be this: "Please never doubt that your kindness reached me." Those words have lived in their heart far longer than you could imagine. They have wished you would one day understand that even when life became busy and silence filled the spaces between conversations, the respect they carried for you never disappeared. It simply grew quieter, deeper, and more sincere. Stay till the end, because the final layer of this message is closer than ever. The journey has never been about creating suspense for its own sake. It has been about allowing your heart enough time to recognize something that cannot be rushed, that genuine care is often revealed through patience, consistency, and quiet remembrance. Perhaps the greatest surprise is not that this message has reached you. The greatest surprise is realizing that hope has been quietly growing on both sides, even during moments when neither heart could fully see the whole picture. Sometimes the most meaningful answers are not discovered in a single dramatic moment. They are recognized gradually, until one day they simply feel true. And as this chapter gently comes to its fullest expression, one final message still remains waiting beyond the horizon. It is the blessing your person has hoped would stay with you long after these words are finished, a reminder that some of the most beautiful connections continue to grow, one quiet heartbeat at a time. A peaceful ending is often the place where a new beginning quietly takes its first breath. If you have walked through every moment of this journey, then you have already discovered that the message was never meant to overwhelm your heart. It was meant to remind you of something beautiful that may have been easy to forget, that sincere care leaves a lasting light, even through seasons of silence. Stay till the end, because this final whisper carries the reason your person kept hoping these words would reach you. The news they have been asking heaven to deliver is this: I hope you never stop believing that you are deeply valued. I hope you never forget that your kindness, your patience, and your quiet strength have touched my life in ways I may never fully express. Wherever our paths continue, I carry gratitude for you, and I pray that peace, joy, and hope will always find their way to your heart. That is the message. Not a message of fear. Not a message of urgency. But a message of appreciation, hope, and quiet love that has remained steady through changing seasons. Perhaps that is why your heart felt drawn to these words today. Sometimes we are reminded exactly when we need to remember that our lives matter more than we realize. A single act of kindness can become someone's treasured memory. A single encouraging word can remain in another person's heart for years. You may never know the full story of the difference you have made, but that does not make it any less real. Don't skip the meaning hidden in this final moment. The greatest gift your person wished for was not simply that you would hear their message, it was that you would walk forward with renewed confidence, knowing that genuine goodness is never wasted. Every compassionate choice, every patient moment, every quiet act of love continues to create ripples far beyond what the eye can see. So let this journey end with peace instead of uncertainty. Lift your eyes toward tomorrow with a calmer heart. Carry hope without rushing. Treasure the people who bring light into your life. Continue becoming the person whose kindness speaks even when words are few. And as these final words settle gently within you, remember this quiet truth: the most meaningful messages are not always the loudest. They are the ones that remain in your heart long after the voice grows silent, gently reminding you that you are seen, you are appreciated, and your story is still unfolding with purpose, one peaceful step at a time. A gentle silence settled after those words, not because there was nothing left to say, but because some truths deserve a quiet place to rest before they blossom into understanding. The journey had never been about predicting tomorrow. It had always been about discovering what hope can quietly accomplish in the present moment. Don't skip, because something important is still waiting for you, not as a hidden secret, but as a realization that grows stronger each time you return to it. The person you love never wished for a perfect ending. They wished for an honest one. They hoped that, no matter where life might lead, you would remember the kindness you shared, the strength you found, and the peace that can grow even through unanswered questions. Perhaps the greatest news was never a sentence waiting to be delivered. Perhaps it was the discovery that hope itself had been transforming both hearts along the way. Every quiet moment of patience, every decision to choose compassion over resentment, every memory held with gratitude instead of regret had already begun shaping a brighter path. As you continue forward, carry this thought with you: meaningful connections are strengthened not only by extraordinary moments, but by ordinary acts of care repeated over time. A sincere smile, a thoughtful word, a patient heart, these are often the gifts that remain long after louder moments have faded. Stay till the end, because one final realization is waiting for you. The story you have just walked through was never asking you to search for signs everywhere. It was inviting you to become someone who notices the quiet beauty already surrounding you. When you choose hope, extend grace, and remain open to goodness, you create space for meaningful moments to enter your life in ways you may not expect. And so the path continues, not with certainty about everything that lies ahead, but with confidence that every day offers another opportunity to love well, to live kindly, and to welcome whatever beautiful chapter is waiting to be written next.